Hello, this is Kathy Dice with the BudgetEase broadcast, and today we're going to talk about PayPal. PayPal is considered a very secure way to pay other vendors or friends, but in this case we're only going to talk about business applications. It's also a way for you to receive money from your customers. PayPal is often used if you're an e-commerce business or have a website and you're getting paid that way. The challenge with PayPal is that in a way it's considered as a bank or a merchant service or both. And so when you're trying to do the bookkeeping for your PayPal account, you have some additional challenges. For example, the reporting that you get from PayPal on any of the money that's coming in or going out of your account is not very good. It's hard to find reports in PayPal. In a way, PayPal is like a bank, but you're not going to get a bank statement at the end of each month, which is very easy to reconcile. And it's easier to understand what happened with each transaction. With PayPal, it's hard to find the report. And then in addition to that, it's sometimes challenging to see what's happening in PayPal. So you really have two choices. What do? You've got a PayPal account. You're using it as a bank. Let's take a worst case example. You're using it as a bank, and then you're also using it as a merchant service account. So a merchant service account is where you accept credit cards for payments, and you get charged a fee for each one of those payments. So with PayPal, those fees come out with each payment that you receive. If you're a not-for-profit, you're getting money in for membership, possibly for something you sell on your website, possibly for event sales. And so you want to make sure that that information gets into QuickBooks for each one of those buckets. And so how do you do that? Either you need to look at each transaction, which may be ridiculously hard if you've got 1,000 transactions a month. It's really impossible. Or what you want to do is you want to put all of the transactions into a clearing account and then move them out of the clearing account with probably a zero balance check, which I can go over in another video. So you've got a clearing account set up. It's going to be a bank account, and that's where all your PayPal transactions will go into, and then you need to transfer money out into your bank account. So anytime money comes into your bank account from PayPal, it's just a transfer from PayPal to your bank account. And then what you're doing is you're doing all of the nitty-gritty categorizations of the accounts, of the transactions in the PayPal account only. So when money goes into your bank account, it's not a sale, it's just a transfer. The next thing is you have to decide, if it's a merchant service account, how are you going to figure out what is your actual sale? What is the money that's actually coming in? Because what's going into the PayPal account could be a net amount. Part of it is the merchant service fee. That means that if you receive $10 from someone, the amount that's going into the PayPal account is $7.30. And so the difference between that is the fee. And you want to keep track of what your actual sales are for an event or a donation, and then deduct the merchant service account. So what you're going to do in these cases is you're going to have a clearing account. You're going to enter transactions from it as sales receipts, zero balance checks that represent what's really happening in that PayPal account. The other challenge with PayPal is that sometimes they give you have $10 that they took from someone, they give it to you, but then they hold back $2.30. They have this, and then the next day they give you the $2.30, but then you earned an additional you earned an additional $100, but then there's a new holdback. So how do you keep track of this minutia? What you do is you leave that in the clearing account, and at the end of the month you do your best to make sure that those have that your clearing account balance remains fairly small. It's just those small in and outs. The last challenge with PayPal is it's very difficult to reconcile, and hopefully they'll change that. But best practice on a bank account, which in a way this is to reconcile it at the end of each month, and we all know how to do that easily. But with PayPal, you're not getting a statement with a beginning balance and an ending balance that allow you to reconcile it. So you might want to do the best you can, reconcile it as you normally would in your QuickBooks, but you're going to be estimating the beginning and the ending balance. So play with it, see what works for you. Call us if you have any great ideas. This PayPal changes every single day. When I went into it yesterday, PayPal wasn't under the banking section in QuickBooks, but it was under the banking section and then a separate tab called apps. So this is changing. Be flexible. You'll figure this out. If you can't, give us a call. We can be reached at budgetease.biz. And thank you so much for listening to this BudgetEase broadcast. We hope that we're making QuickBooks work for you. Take care.